NXT Halloween Havoc Night 1 on Tuesday. It was a really good show, actually. Had a lot of positive buzz, big positive reception. Not one, but two new champions crowned. Chase U becoming the new NXT North American, NXT Tag Team Champions. And we have Lyra Valkyria, the new NXT Women's Champion. Both outcomes surprising me. I did not think Chase U were becoming Tag Team Champions. And I think she had a better chance. Because I even said a couple weeks ago, Lyra is kind of the perfect person to ultimately dethrone Becky. And Becky's had a lot of defenses so far as the NXT Women's Champion. She was only champion for like a month. But in that time frame, she beat Tiffany for the title. She retained the title against Tiffany at No Mercy last month. She beat Natalya to retain the title on Raw. She beat Tegan Nox to retain the title. Indy Hartwell. That's at least 4 or 5 different defenses in the span of a month. And it also looked like she would retain here because she has something going on clearly on Raw with Xia Li. But they did have her drop the championship on Tuesday to Lyra in clean fashion in what was a great main event. They didn't get a lot of time, and it started so close to the top of the show that I was kind of worried, okay, they're just going to be short on time. But no, they went overtime, and they had a really, really good match, and Lyra won, and it was an awesome moment for her. So, again, we'll talk about the overall show in a second, but I guess just your takeaway and your reaction to Lyra Valkyria, the new NXT Women's Champion. Because I know, obviously, you predicted it last week. You were correct, and you're a big Lyra Valkyria fan.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised by the finish, honestly. I mean, I predicted it last week. Came true. Just kidding. I fell out of my bed in shock. But, no, I thought this was a really good match. Like you said, I was a little nervous as well. I remember I came home late and I was catching up, and I pretty much got to the main event right around like 9:55. I'm like, what's this match going to be? Like 5 minutes? But they did run over a little bit, and I thought the match itself was really well done. When she kicked out of the manhandle slam the first time, I was like, okay, there's a chance. I don't know. I just feel like when you kick out of her finish, I'm like, okay, there's definitely a chance. But then I had like the theory that I remember that when she faced Tiffany, I think Tiffany kicked out as well, and then she hit her with it again, like pretty closely after and beat her. So I was like, all right, we'll see what happens. And then she went for it again. I was like, son of a bitch. And then she reversed into like that cradle roll up, and then she rolled her up 1, 2, 3. I was like, holy shit. But I mean, the crowd, a big pop. I mean, obviously it's for the new title, like the title change, big pop. But I don't know. I feel like they kind of were behind Lyra after she won. I would kind of expect like more boos and people kind of pissed, but it seemed like people were behind her, which is nice. But no, I was stunned. But I mean, like you said, Becky did have a good amount of defenses. Like you said, the whole Xia Li thing. I mean, that kind of put a thought in my head. I'm like, maybe she won't win because of the whole Xia Li thing. But I mean, Lyra beat her right here, so maybe we'll get a rematch somewhere down the line. But I mean, Lyra won, and I was pretty happy. So.
Yeah, listen, I think Lyra is someone they've been trying to get over for a while now. They tried with her a while ago, and it just wasn't really working. She's gotten a lot of title shots this year, including a Battleground when we were there. People thought that she may walk out of that tournament the new champion. She did not, and which was the right call. Tiffany was more ready at that point than she was. Lyra's always been better in the ring, but Tiffany was more ready as the complete package. And Lyra just wasn't really over. They've done a good job of getting her more over with the audience in recent months, with the video packages, working with Becky, now beating Becky Lynch. She might be the first, I think she's the first person to beat Becky clean. Not the first person to beat Becky, period, but the first person to beat Becky clean since I think probably Bianca at SummerSlam 2022 for the Raw Women's Championship, which is a pretty big endorsement. So I thought that was really cool. I was not completely expecting it just because I didn't know if they would do it on it wasn't a random NXT, it was Halloween Havoc, but you know, again, they're teasing the Xia Li thing. I thought they might stretch it out for longer. She was only champion for a month. I think they made the most, not even really a question, more of a statement, but I think they made the most of Becky as champion and really elevated the division in the process in really only the span of 30 days, which is kind of impressive.
No, yeah, I think she had great matches with some of the younger women, so kind of spotlight what they have. Like I said, she kind of helped put Tiffany on the map even more than she was. I mean, she was really good before the match with Becky, but I think that kind of spotlighted yeah, she is actually really good. She's not just facing NXT people that are green or developing. She had 2 really, really good matches with Becky Lynch, who's one of the best in the business right now. So I think it definitely helped her a ton. I mean, seemingly from what we saw on Tuesday, I think it'll help Lyra a lot as well. But yeah, help Tegan get a little bit more over, Indy Hartwell. I mean, that's kind of what her position is now. I mean, it's not like she's like Charlotte going for the title every other week. So I think people were kind of mad that she won it, but I feel like she did more for the NXT Women's Division than Charlotte did when she won the belt. So, no, I think it's good. I'm glad she's not holding on the belt and just beating everyone. Now we'll see what's next for Becky.
Yeah, do you think we still get that Becky Xia Li feud just without the championship? Which is an interesting direction to take, because it's not. I mean, we saw a non-title feud with her and Trish Stratus, but that sold itself because they're two big names. Xia Li is someone that has not been in the show in forever. She's having a match next Monday with Candice LeRae. She's not over at all, but I think working with Becky might help her. It's not going to get her over automatically, but I think it's a good use of Becky before they get to Becky and Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely. I think you would still kind of go in that direction, especially like you said, if we're thinking she's not really doing much until she goes to face Rhea at Mania. But I think, I mean, I'm not looking for her to lose again, but I mean, honestly, I feel like, I don't know how much Xia Li would really get out of it, but I feel like the Becky character itself has kind of felt like, I don't know, not stale, but just isn't like what she used to be. So maybe taking a couple more losses could kind of, I don't know, change her character a little bit, kind of get like a fire under her ass and kind of get her back to where she was before. So, like, I wouldn't honestly hate that if, like, maybe she loses again and kind of, like, reinvents herself a little bit. Because I like the character, but it's kind of been the same thing. It's not like she's the man, she's big time. Like, like they say both of them. She's kind of like a mixture of both, not really. But, I don't know, I feel like maybe another loss can kind of help rebuild her. Like, she is over and stuff, but, like, she's not where she should be. I feel like with over being how over she should be. So maybe another loss or something down the line can kind of get her, light a new fire on her ass and kind of get her back to where she was before.
I agree, and I think working with fresh faces will only help with that. I think having the same matches with, like, Bianca and all these other women she's faced before, like Charlotte and people like that, won't help. But, if they do some new stuff and they have her continue working with the fresher faces, I think it's a good step in the right direction before she inevitably faces Rhea Ripley for that Raw, or rather Women's World Championship, which is coming at WrestleMania.